Okay, I forgot to do some things. Okay. Huh. All right, so I foolishly may have forgotten to. I thought I pressed the live button. That's what I thought I did. Some sort of a glitch must have occurred. I was talking, but I saw that my thing wasn't even on streaming through my end. That was something interesting. All right, so I was kind of talking. I've been here. That was quite foolish of me. Scared. Okay, and let's see. Click settings. All right, I am. I so for those. It looks like I'm streaming now. I'm. Looks like it's all available. Okay. Now I don't. Yeah. Okay. Everything looks like it seems to be working now. All right. Okay, Regina, if you are still here, it's nice to see you. I hope that you're having a good day, good evening. Of and I I was talking about how I think with the eggs that were recalled, it's important for people to have more better food regulatory systems because I think in our country, in our first world country, you shouldn't be having stuff like this happen to that extent. You know, it's okay. Like sometimes like tomatoes and stuff could get salmonella in it, which of course this should never happen, especially when we import things from other countries. Oh, hello, Anna. It's so great to see you again. How's I hope Frank and you are doing good. And yeah, the screen must have frozen for a second. I must have gotten excited or forgot to press something. I or something glitched out, but yeah, here I am. Yeah, so I just think that with the food for that, we shouldn't because a lot of people don't grow their own food and don't have a lot of things happen where they would be more self-reliant, which of course, I get stuff from grocery store too. So when you have food that's contaminated like that, it's very dangerous for people to consume, and I think it would cause a distrust. So I just think that the eggs, going to 6 million of them being recalled, which we talked about I think a couple of days ago, that was quite um, unsettling, indeed. Okay, Regina, good to see you. Okay, and okay, and we are taking out a bunch of these ships in the Caribbean. All right. If I wasn't heard before when I was doing my stream, I'm excited for a Halloween stream that we're going to do. It's gonna be pretty cool, and we're gonna most likely have some sort of call-in guests on the show. That'll be very great to see, that happen. It's been a while since we've done that, and I do think everything should be like food and things should be made in America, not made elsewhere in different countries where it may not be the most sanitary. And as I said, with the egg system, that is just really irresponsible, as I said. All right. Now, I'm going to be interested to see how the trial goes on Monday with because it's something I've not seen yet. I don't even quite recall exactly. I think there is still a trial that we're watching that has been on for a couple of days or a week or so that we'll see at some point, on Monday. But yeah, we will. There's a new trial on Monday. I do believe so. And if not, I will also be here streaming with all of you. There has been debate about in here about the difference between different types of movies. If it's horror movies and comedy movies. Now, I do think that I like all movies. They both have their own uniqueness to them. So it's important to see what someone's genre is because there's some people that don't like horror movies and other people that don't like comedy, and for their various reasons. Now, a lot of times, truth is stranger than fiction, especially with these cases that we see, like with Monica and Baker and Telus, things like that. So, but yeah, I always like horror movies. I like to watch the older horror movies, and then when I got a little bit more older, I saw the more graphic ones that got older. We have a situation where, but laughter, in my opine, is the greatest medicine. So, of course, I like the comedy movies as well. And I mostly watch YouTube now, where I still watch movies, especially on the internet. On YouTube or sometimes on DVD or something like that. But I mostly watch things on YouTube, and I think that the evolving technology was good in a sense where we were able to have a system where people could make their own content online, and it got really big and stuff. Because sometimes watching a stream or watching a trial or anything is kind of like watching a movie in itself. So that's another interesting factor. Now, question for chat: if y'all have an opinion about it, do y'all in the chat like horror movies or not so much? Because we've asked this before. Some people didn't like it. Some people did. And Anna said, we are okay, just waiting for procedure date. Medical problems suck. Had new fence put in hand and had to walk dog for 2 days. Just can't let him out for a fence down. Oh, yeah. Frank is doing better, but wants out. Yeah, okay. Thank you for the update, Anna. Yeah. Yeah, medical problems do suck indeed. I know from both my sets of my grandparents. I can know from observing. Yes, I know he wants a catheter out. Yes. Thank you for clarifying. I think that my grandpa had lots of surgeries all the time. My grandparents in England are 90 years old, in their 90s, and they are taking it easy, but they have health problems. Yeah, shout out to the caretakers and people in the medical field that are helping those in need. It's very important because I will get older one day. We all are all have issues at some point. So yeah, it's good to show compassion, help each other out. And had to walk the dog 2 days. Just can't let him out while fence is down. Because when the fence is down, you wouldn't want the dog getting out or running around somewhere. Because I understand the hassle with that. And I'm sure the dog also wants to be out as well in the yard like it usually is. Because dogs like their activity and being playful. Okay, thank you, Anna. Your new trial Monday, missing on and off girlfriend, Minnesota. Yeah, the Minnesota girlfriend. Moki and I in chat, we did a review on it. I just didn't quite recall what the case was called offhand. Off the top of my head. All right. And when you have a oh, you're welcome, Anna. You're welcome. Yeah, I just really think that the appeal of the horror movie itself is because of the adrenaline and the unknown. I always like spooky things in general. Oh, Regina, thank you so much. Thank you so much uh, for the super chat. Yeah, and I brought it back. The the monetization, I brought it back. I figured out last week how to uh, get this situation resolved where uh, uh, and it said, "Not fun. Stay a kiddo." Yes, I will stay. I will stay in Netherland. I'll stay in Netherland. That's where I'll reside. Yeah, thank you so much, Regina. As I said, I brought the monetization back. I did something wrong with the other account of when I was setting it up back when I was in high school, but I got everything resolved now. So I said thank you for super chat. Scared, scared. I've been known to be a Peter Pan, and many people do feel young with around me, and as I said, I appreciate it. I will stay in the land of youth. And I said, don't realize how easy it is to open door and dog does his business. Or yeah, because I would say that with walking, I've walked a dog before. I've done that many times. My relatives had dogs, and yeah, when I remember, especially in Kentucky, is my favorite memories, and that's where Johnny, Depp, he lived there. When Johnny Depp was, I was in a different part of it than where he was, but still, it was in the same state. Yeah, I remember with my mom's aunt and uncle had this big landscape, and what hills would roll on forever. And the dog would just go, and we'd run around in uh, the big, gigantic area. So yeah, dogs certainly, that's an exception, of course, but certainly dogs like the land to run around on. And some of my other aunts have dogs, and you let them out in the yard and they do their thing. Yeah, I have yard cats that just do their thing outside. Yeah, I have yard cats. And also, we have cats that use a litter box inside. Oh, you love horror movies? Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah, I. It certainly was fun to watch with friends, and I love the spooky Halloween season. Let's do this. Yeah, so in this year for this Halloween, I watched the Friday the 13th movies. Yes, absolutely. I remember last Sunday, I had a talking to AI for a couple hours to get it back. I mean, I said, sometimes the way the platform has things set up, it's a little bit complex. So, and my main goal was to make content for y'all. That was what I was really happy about the most, because I love going live for y'all. But of course, the business end of it needs to be fixed too. Yeah, and Friday 13th movies, as I said, some of y'all probably saw that in person when it was actually out in theaters. That's so cool. I mean, like, for instance, the Scream movie. That movie was, out in the 90s, a couple years before I was born. And, there's people that were able to see that out in person. So, from like a nostalgic, historical perspective, it is uh, quite interesting. These historical movies were seen by some people like in person where I was not around just yet to see it. He was from Owensboro, KY. Oh, okay, okay. I was in Lexington. Well, I was in the countryside of Lexington for a summer. I couldn't really go back there because of health problems that happened with my relatives up there. But I would have been there more often. But yeah, I spent a summer there, and so in some sort of sense, I lived there for a little while. I loved it. It was great. Yeah, it was nice and calm. And I remember we were doing an analysis, like, and I've showed you before when Depp was talking about his childhood in the trial, and Lori and I were reviewing it, having a conversation about it, and we were saying, just going over, and she knew some things about, she works with kids, and stuff. She knows about it, and how the trauma of him growing up. And there's some people that had experience with these things that were making commentary about it. It was very interesting, and I was seeing he was from Eastern Kentucky, where it was not really the best part of it. And then I went into this rabbit hole about why it wasn't what happened with it, and it was really rural and like isolated, and there was lots of mountains, so they couldn't really move supplies and stuff around, and there was issues with the coal mines. There was issues with political stuff, even going back to the Civil War. So, and then the people were having issues with different, all kinds of problems. So yeah, and that's his mother was, influenced by that. But then she was similar to his father, where he had restraint, and he didn't like go and hurt anybody, but he assaulted a cabinet or two. So he had his restraint. But as I said, he certainly, it was interesting to show others that and see how it all fell into place during the trial, and then contrast to Amber Heard's spoiled persona and her annoyance at the same time. All right. Some people say that their favorite horror movies. Some horror movies, people like the classic horror movies. I love the classic horror movies, of course. I love those. They're the most elegant, the best, the most classic you could ever have. Like, they definitely win. And Anna said Sleepaway came out. Camp 3 gotta be that third one funny, and horror gotta pay through pay though can't get it free. Oh, okay, okay, interesting. Okay, I haven't I haven't seen that one yet. And let's see over here. I'm going to press this window right there. Yep. Thank you, Anna. Okay. Yeah, a lot of things these days are digital subscriptions. That is something that is quite intriguing to me. That in this, although I was only for a short time, I think it's like everything, like movies and everything, is all digital. And there's these now. There has been lots of complaints about the subscription based system to subscribe for a type of game or a type of movie or TV show because there's certain things that are only available on certain platforms. This is where the issue comes in. So people have to buy subscriptions to for multiple platforms to watch different things, and people are getting frustrated. So, because yeah, like businesses are trying to be competitive, and when businesses are competitive, by doing that and focusing on money alone, they turn off all their customers. Yeah, and Anna said I knew nothing about Bad Home Life. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh okay. Yeah, sometimes. Okay, Moki. Moki, I got the channel monetized again, and thank you for lurking. Yeah, and yeah, it's just sometimes the people like we never. Back in school, they told us this. There was somebody from a couple of years ago who deleted themselves. Something like that was being discussed, and she was saying who that you never know like what demons people have or like what they're like going through. Thank you, Moki. So that is also something to be. It's interesting for me to know because I saw him, first in Pirates in 2003. That was my first knowing of his existence. So, but yeah, it was good for us all to see like what exactly happened with him. And yeah, the in home life, a lot of times people have bad home lives. They uh, that frustration gets released, not always in the healthiest ways. Yeah, and a lot of times, as he grew older, it was in himself. His that he had issues with, and he seems to be doing all right now. He probably does drink or do stuff a little bit, but not really much is known. But he had a little bit of a relapse towards the anniversary of it, of some drinking, but he seems like he's doing all right. I look forward to seeing any of his movies or whatever that come out. All right. Yeah, and there was one student that was in my school. He was really nice. He was cool people. Tall black kid. He liked my humor and he liked hanging out with me sometimes. And he unfortunately OD'd like my senior year when he was at another school. It was very sad. Yeah, so there's been people that I knew that like clocked out of the life game too early. Yeah. Because everybody has different reactions to things. It seems, and other people could become addicted to substances, or they could become bullies themselves. A combination of things can occur. All right, and that is the Barracuda. So one of the ships, one of the sloops that I'm fighting, is a Barracuda. That's one of my favorite fish because I saw the fish for real, but a taxidermy version of it when some of my those neighbors across the street had a long time ago. They caught it in the Gulf of Mexico, and it looked real strange looking. It was very strange looking, and I touched it. I thought it was really, fascinating. I was interested in things like that when I would go to different shops and beach shops, and I would see these taxidermy fish. It was quite interesting. That is my, like, I like to be analytical and into different, study different things, and I make them into hobbies, stuff like that. So I like how the game calls these different ships these different names. These names are quite interesting. I was fishing one time, and there was this fish. I'd see its head bop up and down in the water. I was a strong kid, and I couldn't really get it up. It felt like a car. Okay, it's like moving a titanium, if that's the right word. About, let's say, iron. It was like as if it got stuck on some iron thing. But I saw its head pop up the water, and my grandpa was very strong, and according he was an adult, he couldn't get it either, and we had to cut the line. I don't even know what it was exactly. It wasn't an alligator, I don't think, but it was something really strong. There's something about the water, like in this game, you never really know like what's lurking in there. All right. Okay, so in these ships, I'm getting at one at a time. Let's see. Okay, the behemoth. There's one of the ships that are called an ogre, and that reminds me of Shrek. When I was growing up, when I was like little, that's something everybody liked to look at. That movie was a big hit when it was coming out at its time. I remember during that time period, it was now for some reason the game reminds you of Shrek. With Port Royal reminds you of Shrek because of the castle and there's a swamp. I think I was thinking of that when I was watching it. That's what I was thinking. While I play it sometimes, because I used to, oh, you know how I do trial chat with y'all all day long? I used to have a group of friends in a chat room on the pirate game, and we used to go and sail the seas and do plunder all day long, and I would pilot the ship because I was very good at it. Like this lady was high level, and she had a very big crew and a really like fancy ship. And I was as she, as I said, I kept her guild, and I will never switch my guild. And I have not seen. She came online last year, but I haven't seen her since 2020 because my computer must have got COVID. The old computer got COVID, and it went out. Yeah, so I wasn't able to really get anything until later. I was like surviving on an iPod. Like I watched YouTube and I did all my videos and all my content and all the live streams on an iPod. That was crazy. Anna says, being a boy, his buddies probably didn't know what his home life was. Boys don't or didn't then talk. Now girls is a different story. Yeah, and there was this masculine persona, if that's the right word for it, in that time period where men wouldn't show emotion or what they were going through at that time. And, being like a rock star with his buddies. That's what he was doing, where, yeah, he just probably just kept it to himself. And I do think that people can talk about their issues in a proper way. But I will say in our modern age, there are people that are too in tune with their emotions where they lash out in a negative way a lot of times. Anna says hello to Moki. And I think it's absolutely just, uh, a different extreme, than the other extreme. But yeah, so he seemed like they probably didn't know what was going on either. I agree. And I do think he put his rock star persona in the Captain Jack Sparrow character a lot. Like, I think that Captain Jack Sparrow, that is him in a pirate form. Yes, indeed. And I never knew he did music until recently, or like during the trial. For some reason, he would be a good rock star. I mean, he has the look, and he has good vocals, but he definitely is talented. But I just never knew about that or thought of it for some reason. It took me a while to know about that, but that was pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I said I learned about it during the trial. I remember when the trial happened, he went over to England for a concert when he was to be found not guilty. He wasn't even there. That was hilarious. But yeah, we knew that was a sign that he knew it was going to work. Yeah, and girls are different the way they express their emotions. Absolutely. Also back then too. I'm sure it was probably very clicky. I would assume back then in those schools. I heard that having uniforms stops cliques from forming, allegedly, and yeah, mine didn't really have any cliques. All right, gators are freshwater. Barracudas would be in the ocean. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Anna, for clarifying that. All right. So I know if it's something in freshwater, alligators could be lurking. If it's in the ocean, it could be a barracuda. One time we caught a crab, and it was him and I were fishing, and there was this. The crab was kind of floating, walking around and floating, and then I was like, it was blue looking. I'm like, wow, it was a blue crab. What on earth is this thing? But that's what they look like before they're cooked or boiled. It was quite intriguing. Running pirate from behind reminds me of Puss in Boots. The moon becomes full less than a minute. Oh, Puss in Boots was a very good. Yeah, Puss in Boots was a very good character. When I was a kid, I identified as Puss in Boots. At this point, the ships don't even care anymore. They're just like waiting to go. Ah, the game glitched again. That's nice. Oh no, not necessarily. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. Let's see. Okay, game. Oh, the full moon's happening. Full moon's happening. Oh, there it is. Okay, that is the pirate moon. That is the pirate moon. Oh, okay. It finally sunk. It finally sunk. Oh, I was. Oh, look at me. I'm. Okay, the game is doing great right now. I sunk all the ships. Arg. Still not recharging. Oh yeah. So with Puss in Boots, Gustave Doré was this illustrator that I've talked about before throughout the time of this channel's existence, and I was always hypnotized by the art, and it was very, Renaissance, like very Victorian looking. Those are two different time periods, but that's kind of like true the way he did his illustrations. And he did one of Puss in Boots, and I like the mysteries behind it because you don't always know what the stories are with those people in those time periods. What I mean by that is there's a scene of Puss in Boots, and he's standing up and he's like making a pose at the full moon, and you don't know what happened or who he's talking to or what transpired. It's so intriguing to me. And there's like a there's something in the background staring at him, probably an ogre allegedly, because the ogres are kind of depicted as giant human. That's what an ogre is. It's a giant. It's a Nephilim, a giant person. And it's just you wonder like what was going on in his head, what was going on with the illustrator, what was he thinking about the character we're seeing. Yeah, I remember there was a scene where Puss in Boots goes into this like Victorian dining room, and he meets an ogre, but it's like a really like big dude, like a really big guy, like a human, and there was some strange food on the table, and it was duck. It was duck legs. That's what it was. And they have different. When these illustrations, I think, are more accurate than a lot of movies that we see, where I'll see movies depicting these different time periods, but they just look too modern. Where the older depictions, I think, are more accurate of what it was like at those time periods, especially people that were there. So yeah, Puss in Boots is a classic character, and that was, Antonio Banderas voiced him perfectly. All right, let's go this way. All right, let's go this way. All right, and Anna said he set out to do music, had a group called The Kids. He was front man. Remember I told you about him playing Aguro Ballroom in Hollywood, Florida around 1978 to 79? Yes, I remember when we were watching the Depp trial, and when you're telling me your really intriguing stories about your experience with him, that and you were on the front row, and he would do those rock concerts. So yeah, I remember that. I could hear that story over and over again. It's so fascinating to me. The way he like started out. I sunk that big ship, like instantly. All right, all right, and he set out to do yeah, and thank you for telling me about that. And then eventually he got into the acting because of Nicolas Cage. There is somebody that was with during the Depp trial on Independent. He was with Johnny in Jump Street, and he was saying how he he would see him before he when he was driving a taxi. He would see him before he became the actor, and then he saw him in it. But this guy was an extra in 21 Jump Street. The person claimed to be, and yeah, so he was just. I've heard different accounts of him before he got into the famous becoming famous. Then the dude was like, all of a sudden he switched and joined Amber Heard's side. And I'm like, bro, we talked about this literally yesterday, where he told me the Hollywood girl ladies sometimes want to take money from these famous content. I'm saying content these actors, and they're going to mess their career up. And then he said, "Oh, Amber Heard's so young and Johnny's so old." Blah 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 blah. It's like, he was getting his emotions, getting too emotional, and him and I, we ended on good terms, but we definitely had a heated debate, and the chat was flying. We really heated, and this was a day before he was found, before he won the case, and the dude was from Hawaii. And then the dude, he seemed like he had hatred for Depp. Then he was like, "Oh, I'm glad that I'm not some cult follower of Johnny, like the people in the chat, and I'm glad I didn't see his movies." Blah 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 blah. It's dude was really like a low sport. It's like even people that are actors and famous people have haters. But yeah, I don't know. I wish Hawaii 5 well. That was his screen name. And at first he did pretty good, But then at some point his feelings got the best of him, and like Amber Heard, and he was not there the day that Johnny won. He was not there, and I never saw him again. But I enjoyed my time with him. It was interesting hearing his account of working with him briefly. It was interesting. And so, yeah, the music is really a great way of expression, I think. It's an art that growing up, I was around, rock and different types of music like that. And then my city is, as you may know, it's very rap themed because of it was something famous here. And actually, at first, I wasn't really big into it. And then I could kind of see lyrics made sense when in certain types of songs. And I got to know rappers that I was like, knew. It's it's different than rock. But we both respected our different cultures. Uh, and yeah, and even with the rap, what people could call it different things because it's not for everybody. Whatever people do in these types of industries, they certainly are. It's a type of expression, but of course, with rap could be very violent and negative, of course. But still, I think that if it's rock or any type of singing or music, that's productive. That's productive. Now, some metal can be negative too, but that's a very minority. And I'm talking about stuff that has to do with uh, the spiritual darkness that I was referring to. But yeah, the music in general, I think, is a good way of expression, and I do think that the music for Johnny was an outlet for him to express himself. You know, and he was being a performer even then. Before he saw his calling of being an actor, he was, even back then, was on stage, was performing, and he was still entertaining audiences. So yeah, it's good that he had that outlet of expression for himself. Too many people express themselves in negative ways. Okay, and I was looking. I'm going to. Oh, it looks like the moon is still chilling, right? Oh no, the moon's gone. Scared. Okay, that is the ambient atmosphere. Look on a map where this island is. Let's see. Where's Blige? Okay, Blige water. I think we could just go straight there. Whoa, whoa, it's getting close. I think over in this direction we should go. Okay. And yes, there is going to be another Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Caribbean movie. It's going to be coming out, but it has not been in production or anything. They're just saying it's going to come out at some point in the future, and we will see when that happens. It would not be Pirates without him. It would not be Pirates. I have completely uh, got the skull and bones and the hat. And I remember, Anna, we've talked before about the lunchroom, the cafeteria, and I could have asked you this, but he sat with his group of friends at a separate lunch table, like they were sitting somewhere, like in the cafeteria at the lunchroom. Oh, I got the wrong island. That's nice. Okay, because I would assume he sat with his group, and because a lot of times with different friend groups, they like sit with each other at lunch, and that's what we did back when I was in school. We would sit with. I would personally just go everywhere and just like tour around the different tables, kind of like with YouTube. I kind of just go to. I would go to different lunch tables and talk to different groups, kind of like with YouTube chats. How I just go to different chat rooms and talk to the different people I know. It's the same thing. I said my life at school mirrors the YouTube life I had. It They both kind of mirror each other. Okay, I'm going. I thought I found the island, but I didn't. So we're gonna have to go this other way. Okay, I thought Blygewater was out here. Blygewater is there. Okay. Oh, you don't know about the new trial. Okay, we'll educate you about it. All right, I'll get into it. All right, I'm gonna dock. Let's see, dock here. Okay. We're going to speed up. Oh, I'm in the wrong area. Okay, I'm in the right area. I just have to get the trajectory right. Okay, catapulting forward. Ah, the moon's still there. That's so cool. It's like hitting with from the clouds. It's hitting in the clouds. Okay. I'm going to empty my loot. Okay, dropping anchor. Oh, okay, Anna, thank you. She says, only saw him with the same two guys, then out in front in the smoking lounge, a rock pit outside the school fence. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'll tell you about this trial. Yeah, that's Jolly Roger's moon right there. Okay, let's get to this new trial. Alrighty. Okay, let's go right here. Let's see. Now, is the trial you're referring to, you want to know about the Matthew Powell trial? Is it that one you want to know about? Because I know there's one starting Monday you want to know about. Also, let's see. Let's see, going here. Okay, let's see. Missing. Okay, let's go here. I'll get this one that she specifically mentioned. The one that's going to start Monday. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the new trial first, and if she wants to know about the other one that happened on Friday, I'll tell Anne about it if she requests. All right. An upcoming retrial set to begin Monday, October 27, Minnesota, from Lyndon Wings, who is accused of orchestrating the kidnapping and murder of his rival's on and off girlfriend, Monique Baugh. Baugh was the mother of the two who went missing and was found deceased in 2019. Okay, I'll tell you about both of them. This is details of the case from the one that will start Monday. Victim Monique, a 28-year-old real estate agent, defendant Lyndon Wiggins' crime. Baugh was lured to a fake home showing on December 31, 2019. She was then kidnapped, murdered as part of the revenge plot to target her boyfriend Wiggins' rival. Previous conviction: Wiggins was initially convicted of aiding and abetting first-degree murder in 2022 and sentenced to life in prison. However, Minnesota Supreme Court overturned the conviction in 24, citing an error in the jury instructions. New trial. The retrial for Wiggins scheduled to begin with jury selection on Monday, October 27 and 20 October 27, 25. If you're okay, so that one. All right. And this one with Matthew Powell trial. I'll give you a summary of the Matthew Powell trial. Murder trial of Matthew Pahel, a 55-year-old. This is one that came on Friday. Murder trial of Matthew Pahel, a 55-year-old Waukesha resident, began in late October 25. He accused of deleting and killing his girlfriend, 44-year-old Stephanie Pavlins, then hiding her body. Pahal has pleaded not guilty to the charges of first-degree intentional homicide and hiding corpses. And hiding a corpse. Not corpses, but hiding a corpse. Last sighting, Paul and Pavlons were seen on surveillance video leaving their apartment together on August 22, 22. Matthew's return. Matthew is Pahal. Or it's Paul or something like that. Was later recorded returning to the apartment alone, carrying Stephanie's belongings. Body discovered 3 weeks after Stephanie was last seen. Her body was found in a wooded area in Delafield, Wisconsin, by construction workers. Evidence against Matthew. Online searches. Following Stephanie disappearance, Matthew allegedly searched local obituaries and read online articles about investigation impersonation. Matthew is also accused of impersonating Stephanie online after her death. Chuck's statement. Matthew made a statement to his attorney while in custody. I didn't even wash the back of the truck out, leading to his previous lawyers withdrawing from the case. Legal maneuvers and delays. Motion to dismiss in 23. Matthew's defense team attempted to have a case dismissed, arguing that there was insufficient evidence due to an unknown case death deletion. A judge denied the motion. Ball status. A request to reduce Matthew's $2 million cash bail was made in 23. The defense argued that Paul should have more privileges in jail, but the motion was unsuccessful. Trial delays. The trial was delayed multiple times because of legal and procedural issues, including Paul's needing a new attorney after his previous... Right, exactly, Anna. Trial delays. The trial was delayed multiple times because of legal and procedural issues, including Matthews needing a new attorney after his previous counsel withdrew. Our trial proceedings commenced October 25 and is being covered by media outlets like LC. The jury is expected to visit the site where Pavlin's body was found, which is Stephanie's body. If convicted of first-degree intentional homicide, Paul's face a mandatory life sentence. All right. So that, sorry about it. And let's see about, did he sell her drugs? Publicly available information from news coverage and Matthew's murder trial does not indicate that he was charged with selling drugs to Stephanie. Charged offense trial was okay. Let's see. Is there some about prescription drugs? Hello, Gregatron. Good to see you, my buddy. We are talking about. I'm doing some gaming and talking about a trial we're going to watch on Monday. Good to see you. See per. Oh, per script. Yeah, so there's this murder trial that happened where this dude, his girlfriend went missing and they were together last seen at 3 weeks before her body was discovered in the woods, and all the evidence really points that he did it. Oh, you did, Greg? Well, I want to thank you for when you do tag me in your videos and your post. I appreciate that very much. I do look at them. I love your intro. Your intro's amazing. So I'll look at it. I do love anime. All right, court documents and public reporting on the Matthew trial for murder Stephanie does not indicate that he sold her prescription drug. I thought that he did. I might be thinking of another trial. I might be thinking of another trial for some reason, but I could have sworn that's what happened. All right, let's look at his online activity. Oh, I will like it, Greg. I will like it. I love Trigon. Yes, facts. I remember when we had you on the show and we were reviewing Trigon with Ash. Oh, good memories. Memories. Thank you so much for making that. All right. Prosecutors allege that after deletion killing Stephanie Pavlins and Matthew engaged in several forms of suspicious online activity. His behavior is part of the circumstantial evidence presented against him in the trial. According to court filings and newspaper reports, Matthew's online activity included searching obituaries just 3 days after Stephanie was last seen alive in August 22. Stephanie's web history showed searches for her obituary. Her body was not discovered for another 15 days, and her identity was unknown for several more. Reading news reports. He is also accused of searching for and reading news stories about investigating and discovery of a body in a wooded area. Impersonating the victim. Stephanie, no, Matthew allegedly logged in Stephanie's online account and used them to pretend to be her after she was already dead. Yeah, it's just he did everything, and he used the internet, and everything he did was seen, so it does not look too good for him, as Anna said. Yeah. Oh yeah, because Trigon is, Vash is that character was really well designed, and I like the Wild West theme and the space theme. Yeah, it's very good animation indeed. Yeah. He seems like he'll be cool, calm, and collective, and he'll act a little nervous, but he's really like he knows what he's doing. So he looks like he could be in the Matrix. All right. Checking Stephanie's voicemail. After Stephanie was last seen, her voicemail were checked multiple times according to cell phone records. This online behavior, along with other evidence, included video footage and incriminating statements suggesting that that Matthew was aware of the death of Stephanie and actively tried to cover the crime. Let's see other evidence that was presented. In addition to this suspicious online activity, prosecutors in the Matthew murder trial have presented reference to several key pieces of evidence. Surveillance footage. Video from August 22 reportedly shows Matthew and Steph leaving their apartment together. Matthew was later captured on video returning alone, carrying Pavlon's belongings. On the day Pavlon's was last seen alive, she and Paul were last seen in his truck, with destinations being Paul's physical therapy appointment. Read that again. All right. Shows Matthew and Stephanie leaving their apartment together. Matthew was later captured on video returning alone, carrying Stephanie's belongings. On the day Stephanie was last seen alive, she and Matthew were seen in his truck, with destination being at Matthew's physical therapy appointment. Incriminating statements. Matthew allegedly made an incriminating remark to his attorney while in custody. "I didn't even wash the back of the truck out." This statement led to former lawyers withdrawing from the case, citing a conflict of interest, and was admitted to his evidence. So that really isn't good. That really isn't good at all. Wow. Location of the body. Stephanie's body was found by construction workers in Schedule Wooded area in Delafield, Wisconsin. A jury visit to the site is planned as part of the trial. History of abuse. Prosecutors also sought to introduce evidence of Matthew's history of controlling and abusive behavior towards the Steph during their 20-year on and off relationship. This includes physical and verbal mental abuse, which Steph had reportedly documented in a journal and discussed with their daughter and medical professionals. While the defense contested this evidence as hearsay, the prosecution intends to use it to establish motive and pattern of behavior. Control of prescription drugs. Court filings mentioned that Pauls allegedly controlled Pavlon's prescription drugs by both selling them and withholding them from her. The defense objected this evidence, questioning its relevance to cause of deletion, death. Search for extradition laws. A search of Matthew's home reportedly turned up a list detailing which countries have extradition agreements with the U.S., suggesting a possible intent to flee. Prosecution case is based on this extensive collection of circumstantial evidence, including the timeline of evidence. Matthew's behavior after Pavlin's death, disappearance, and alleged history of abuse. Okay, let's go here. Let's see what the motive, possible alleged motives would be. According to court documents and news reports, prosecutors allege that the murder of Stephanie stemmed from a long history of domestic abuse and Matthew's controlling behavior. While no single motive has been officially stated, the prosecution intends to establish a pattern of abuse that accumulated in homicide. The alleged motives presented in court include abuse and control. Prosecutors claim that Matthew had a 20-year on again off again relationship with Stephanie that was characterized by physical, verbal, and mental abuse. Steph alleged journal entries and conversations with her daughter and medical professionals documented this controlling and abusive behavior. Controlling finances and prescription drugs. Court filings mentioned that Steph allegedly controlled no that Matthew allegedly controlled Steph's prescription medications, in some cases withholding them, and others selling them. Okay, that's what it was with the medications. That's what it was. That's really messed up. All right, this is part of a larger pattern of control the prosecution is presenting to the jury. Escalating conflict. The state alleges that killing was a result of escalating tensions in their tumultuous relationship. This evidence of history of abuse is being used by the prosecution to establish motive for the murder. The defense objected to some of the evidence as hearsay, though the prosecution is still using it to suggest patterns of behavior. All right. Not that. It's this other thing. Okay. Let's see. Right. I'll tell you all a little summary of the cartoon that Greg and I were talking about from before, the Trigun cartoon. All right. The Trigun is a classic Japanese anime from '98 that follows the misadventures of a pacifist gunman named Vash the Stampede, though he is known as the humanoid typhoon for the destruction that follows him. Vash is a kind hearted man who travels the desert planet of Gunsmoke seeking love and peace. The 26 episode series mixes the action, comedy, and sci fi, a unique space western setting. Plot summary: The bounty on his head. Vash has a 60 billion bounty on his head for allegedly destroying the city of July. He cannot recall the incident, but is consistently pursued by ruthless bounty hunters, the insurance agents. The series begins with two insurance agents, Meryl Strife and Millie Thompson, tracking down Vash to minimize the damage he causes. Merle initially doubts that the goofy, donut-loving man they meet could be an infamous criminal, a priest and nemesis. Vash is later joined by Nicholas D. Wolfwood, a traveling priest and exceptional gunfighter with his own mysterious past. The group's journey becomes more dangerous as Vash's evil twin brother, Millions Knives, sends elite assassins to torment and punish him. A darker tone. While first half of the series is more episodic, the comedic in tone shifts dramatically the second half, dealing with Vash's tragic past and complex philosophical conflicts with Knives. Alright, pacifism versus violence. A core theme of the show protagonist is a staunch pacifism. In a brutal, lawless world, Vash goes to extreme lengths to save every life, but his ideals are constantly tested. The harsh realities of violence and survival. Idealism. The reality of Vash's belief inherent good of humanity is put up against the corrupt and destructive side of human nature personified by his brother Knives. Morality and ethics. The show explores complex moral questions about deleting, killing, and forgiveness. Vash must eventually confront limitations of his own ideals, leading to a heartbreaking and pivotal choice. Related media manga. The anime is based on the manga series written by Yashiro Nightal. The manga is known for being darker and more complex than 1998 anime. Anime film. A movie, Trigun Badlands Rumble, was released in 2010 with a new standalone story. Reboot. A reboot of the series titled Trigun Stampede was produced by Studio Orange and began airing in 23. It offers reimagined story with more modern animation style. All right, so that's a little explanation about Trigun and also about the trial that we're watching and that will be coming up. Oh, the sleeping pirate is swimming in the water. Scared. Scared. Jai Rogers commands V to attack the island. Okay, let's go. Scared. Oh, I'm a zombie pirate. Wow, look at this, chat. Look at this. I'm a zombie pirate. Scared. Quite interesting. So what happened in the game was there's a zombie incident going on, and I became a zombie in the game. All right, let's see. I didn't press it quick enough, and they brought me back to the jail. Scared. I almost pressed the tonic quick enough, but I didn't. Well, it looks like I'm back to normal now. That's good. So I was in the moonlight of the haunted Jolly Rogers moon. I became a zombie pirate, and I got into a fight with the other pirates, but I didn't press the tonic quick enough, and I was healed. So now I'm back to being a normal pirate. Alright, good. As being out in that moon too long gave me the Temu scurvy. Scared. I like that. That was interesting. It caught me a little bit off guard, though, because I wasn't even expecting that to happen. Yeah, I was just, like, vegetating in the water and I became rotten. Alright. You are restored from... I am restored from Jolly Rogers cursed. Alright, so the pirates helped cure me of the Jolly Roger curse. That, as I said, is a cool effect. Yeah, that's the ambient moon. Well, all the crabs are attacking me now, and I have low health. Well, not low health, but it could be... I'm kind of groggy in the game. Okay, let's see. Well, I'm about to go back out again. Oh, haha, I got on top of a rock. But I got attacked anyway and didn't make it. Alright. Okay, so now we are going back out this way. All right, it looks quite nice in Blightwater, this scenery right here. But in one way, I'm glad I'm healed from the curse. But it's also interesting to be a zombie at the same time. All right. See, I like how they added different types of games to this. All right, let's go. All right, so that is the ambient Jolly Rogers right there. Alrighty, and then we're going to attack some more right here. Alright, good. They're going down. Okay, so now going to turn the ship this way. We're going to go to one of the islands to look for something. Alright, let's go to Raven's Cove, the spooky island. Let's go out to the sea. Going straight to the zombie island of Raven's Cove. Alright, now we're going to the island. It took me a moment, although I could have just teleported, I took the sailing option instead. Okay. Alright, got some copper bars. Yeah, that's right. Let's see. Where's the Halo lead? Let's probably not have any weapon out at the moment. Let's see. Hmm. I guess I just have to go talk to a ghost. That's what I have to do. Okay. No, they're not this way. It's in the other area. Okay. This is an island that got attacked. Alright, so we have some ghosts here. Let's go. Well, specifically, let's go this way into the quest. Ah, okay. Okay, so the other island we go to. Alright. Okay, so teleporting to Cuba. Now, this is Cuba from back way in its past from the Pirate Age. Because they have scenes from Cuba in the pirate game, but I mean in the pirate movie. Okay, but like, for instance, when they're seeing Tia, who is actually Calypso in human form, they kind of go through the swampy bog area, like in this direction right here. Let's see. All right, looks like this region is where they in the movie they went through with a little boat this way into the swampy area. That's somewhere just exactly from the movie. I like that. It shows like a mountain in the background and a couple of trees, but this is just NPC stuff. That's why I don't let us go past this region. They don't let us go past that region. They just have us go this part. But I wonder what it'd be like to go through there with the different jungles, the different trees and stuff like that. There, okay, let's go. Now, my favorite pirate movie of all time is the second one. That's my favorite pirate movie. They're in so many different terrains and so many different scenes. And it starts out pretty funny and just kind of like a regular day on the being a pirate. And I like the poster because it's kind of mysterious. Like you don't really know what's going to happen or what it's about exactly. It doesn't really give much away. Now, a lot of times when they make remakes of movies, they don't do that well. But when they make sequels, but the pirate movies sequels are very good. Now, the last one that he did. Oh, I never knew we could enter in this place. Well, we can't enter in the place actually. Oh, well, one day we got to go in here. We can't go in there right now, but she has a shack that we could go into. I didn't know that. And with that in the pirate movie, this part where the Captain Sparrow and the let's think of the word for a second, and the other pirates came in here, right? And that is her right there. Yeah. It's like from the movie. Oh, back to the and I do the third one at World's End was just incredible. It was a big finale about what happens in the movie saga about. And I think it was released in the same year or very close. It was like back to back. It was like wow. And at World's End, trying to find Captain Jack to help bring him back. It was just a very big spectacle. And when these spectacles happen, that's when you know when a good movie was made. Now the last one he did had some controversy. People didn't think he didn't perform the best he could have, and he was kind of late. He wasn't really doing things right with that. The last one allegedly, but I think he did pretty well. But I understand that he was going through the turd situation, a turdy situation during that time period. So he may not have been doing what he could have done, maybe his best. But yeah, so I like all the movies, but they did pretty good with the sequels. Because a lot of times sequels don't do well, but they did pretty good with the sequels. The last one I will say I just don't accept as completely canonical because he he's supposed to be a pirate of he's not a pirate when he's a young age, because in the pirate movie they have him as a pirate as a young age when he was little, and then he got the compass later. But that doesn't make any sense because Tia's the one that gave him the compass in the first place, so that's completely not canonical. So I don't know what they were thinking. So you could still make it canonical somehow. Yeah, you can make it canonical. He was a pirate when he was a kid, then he became an employee of the East India Trading Company as a captain. Then he became a pirate. Like, it was branded a pirate. He went back to it. He may have had the compass first, then he had the compass again. So yeah, you could make it canonical, but it's really not make any much sense. Like that's what I was like. The biggest thing when I was watching it, I'm like, well, this is not really exactly the most canonical thing going on here. But I like the animations and similarities to Davy Jones that some of the characters had. Davy Jones will always be an iconic character in this franchise. Definitely. Okay, so yeah, this is Cuba. Now we're going to set sail to another island. This is one of our usual crab suspects right here. Okay. And going this way here. I got some pirate loot from this. Okay, good. Okay. Alright. So, go up here and fight this thing right here. Here we go. Okay, this, you see, yeah. And I liked Blackbeard. He was in one of the pirate movies. That was cool that they included him in Edward Tech. He was a historical pirate, you know. And a lot of these pirate stories that we see in movies, and like say the Goonies or before that, or the Pirates Disney franchise, they're based off of alleged pirates from the past, including like Blackbeard is known. That's where that a lot of these themes came from. His story. There was one pirate that was a buried his treasure one time. It was one incident, and that became a lore in pirate lore. Usually, pirates would go blow off all their loot on things. They wouldn't just like go save it up somewhere. These are pretty easy targets right here. It's pretty easy. It's not really So this island is more like a earlier level, an entry level. Let's do this. Wrong area this way. And this is the elephant gun. Alright, here we go. See the... So I'll be interested to see what the... Whenever, if ever, the new Pirates come out at some point in the future, I'll be interested to see what that... I'll certainly give my review on it. Yeah. You know, there was actually people that existed in those times that would sail to strange lands that were strange to them, and they would find different populations of people there. All right, and let's do this. I'm gonna take it out. Yeah. Okay, now this is one of those giant wasps again. By the way, wasps can be very nasty and they don't really always help out. Like how bees help the environment and flowers and stuff out, the wasps are just there to be annoying. They're Temu insects. Okay, and let's go this way. And launch this ship to go out further to sea. Alright, let's find another island. Looking on the map to see some more. This way. Let's see where we are. I know one of those is the cave. I'm going to do a twist and a turn right there. Alright. I think this island will have some different enemies that will be more like Temu. Scared. The one that will come up here across the sea. Okay. I think with the different legends that are around, that float around, it's very important to know that a lot of times they originated from sources that were real. And then over time, they became more and more diluted and twisted. Sometimes that is something that can occur when it can be twisted around a certain way. But other times it can be completely doggone accurate. It just depends. Okay. This island, another crab island. Now with social media and the internet, there will be easier for people, future generations, to see what was going on if some attack doesn't happen or the technology doesn't get destroyed somehow, which I don't think it would. Then people would be able to see like what things were like, but I believe legends will still happen anyway, because as you tell a story or a rumor, it gets twisted around over time, so that's something that I find interesting. I don't think we've been to the island, but I want to go to the island maybe with some zombies on it. Wrong one. Oh, this ship's about to go out. Let's get it. Okay, now we're gonna have this ship completely. Will completely sink now. Okay, let's go this way. Big zombie pirate ship. All right, we're going to parlay. Ah, yes. And sometimes with Legends, I think that informations, things like that, can get lost over time. And when information gets lost over time, it's hard to verify sources that are up there. So I'll reiterate that I hope that the internet will just be a place where they could probably get information better than before. There's lots of the internet that doesn't even exist, according to many. Where a lot of the pages and stuff that allegedly is there is all fake to make it look a certain way. Kind of like living in a matrix. Okay. Now this island, I'm going to see if we have some skeletons here. Oh, I passed up the island. Okay, let's go this way. Okay. Now this island, yep, we got the zombies here. Let's go. Scared. Yeah, throwing the dual daggers. Now, this weapon's very effective. Eh, he's not even moving. Okay, this is the final boss right here. Ah. I went too close to it and I didn't refill the health in time and it got me. Okay. Go back to the island. Okay. Hey, there's that strange moon right there. Scared. All right. I'm really impressed with the graphics in the game. One thing I could do is go to the volcano island. Go to Port Royal. Like this. One thing, this is a really cool site right here. Yeah, sky is extremely green. Oh. Looks like the game is doing okay. Ah, that's why it wasn't teleporting me. Alright, let's try to close it and open it again. Oh, I gotta do it like this. Okay, we're gonna see if the game is gonna cooperate. Because it's loading up again. That's good. Alright. Last night it did the same thing. Ah, it's stuck on the screen. It's stuck on the screen. Scared. Okay, I'm going to show you all another game that I have. This game, as I said, their servers went down. Alright, let's see this other game. What's it called? Okay, I have to go here and see what the name of it. It's a game I played way back in the older times, and I brought it back. What's it called? Oh, wait. This way. Okay. Going to fix the screen. Alright, let's see, switch the window this way. Oh, there we go. It doesn't show up. I have to look into this. It's not showing up to display. Okay. Let's try this maybe. And this thing is called R. Okay, let's go this way. Alright, and it doesn't show. That's nice. So I'm going to have to go later and look into this, how to display it. Okay. So we can't show that right now. Alright. Let's see. Interesting. Oh, maybe that might be it. Let's see. Okay. Do that another time then. Okay. Okay, so when I get this figured out to display it, I will have to look into it. The other thing I was going to talk about was these legends. Let's see. In this other window. Alright, talking about some spooky legends, so I put that in the title, so we're going to see about some spooky legends. Alright. The folklore in American West is full of unsettling urban legends drawing from its history of mining camps, pioneer settlements, and vast, desolate landscape. Many most well known stories are rooted in specific locations and events. The Lost Dutchman's Gold Mine, Arizona. According to the famous tale, German immigrant named Jacob Waltz discovered a fabulously wealthy gold mine in Superstition Mountains just before his death in 1890s. He supposedly revealed its location to a neighbor. The mine has never been found, and many who have sought it have met with foul play, disappeared without a trace, or succumbed to the extreme heat. Some versions of the legend say Walt's ghost hunts the mountains, protecting the location of his hidden fortune. The Whaley House, California. Located in an old town in San Diego, the Whaley House is considered one of America's most haunted houses. In the mid 19th century, the property was the site of several grim events. Before the house was built, a man named Yankee Jim Robinson was hanged there. Later, the home's owner, Thomas Whaley, witnessed his 1 year old son pass away in the house, and his teenage daughter committed self deletion suicide there years later. Visitors and museum staff have reported seeing the ghosts of the Whaley family and Yankee Jim, as well experiencing strange smells and odd sounds, unexplained cold spots. Spooky 11-mile stretch of road in Thornton, Colorado is said to be location of the several frightening hauntings. Some of the many legends associated with the road include Phantom Jogger, Ghost of Jogger, who was struck and later killed by a driver and said to knock on the side of the cars and that stopped the scene of the accident. Gates of Hell, a ghost story that claims that the road is home to a dilapidated gate that serves as one of the gates of hell. The Ghost Hitchhiker, a woman in the white is said to appear and disappear in front of the drivers. The Phantom Camaro, a mysterious car with a single headlight, is reported to menace drivers on the road at night. The Curse of Bodie, California. Bodie, California is one of the best preserved ghost towns in the United States and is said to be home to a curse. Legend has it that anyone who removes an object, even a small rock, from the town will be subject to a string of terrible misfortunes, according to park rangers. Okay. Let's talk about the skinwalkers. Okay. So, in Navajo culture, a skinwalker, a type of harmful witch who can transform into, possesses or disguises themselves as an animal. They are considered the most dangerous of witches and are the antithesis of Navajo cultural values, which prioritize living in harmony with the world. The lore of skinwalkers is deeply embedded in the Navajo tradition and is rarely discussed openly, especially with outsiders. Corrupted healers. According to some legends, skinwalkers were once powerful medicine people or healers or like an apothecary who chose to use their spiritual knowledge for evil. Evil deed. To gain their immense supernatural power, a human must perform the most evil act imaginable, deleting, killing close family members. You know, that's so interesting because that's like what happened with Voldemort from Harry Potter. No, not trying. So, spoiler alert, probably is that in Harry Potter he committed the most evil action by creating all those Horcruxes, and he had to delete people to get that created. And the Horcrux is like it's like, say like this chapstick. My soul is attached to this chapstick, so if something happens to me, I got insurance, and I'll just come back somehow through a chapstick. That's not exactly how it works, but it's something like that. And that's interesting that the same type of logic is with these cryptids right here. Shape shifting. After this ritual, they can transform into animals, often predators like coyotes or wolves or owls. This is where the name skinwalker comes from, the belief that they wear skin or pelt of the animal they transform into, though in modern lore they may master the ability to shift without a pelt. Other abilities. In addition to shape shifting, skinwalkers are said to possess other powers, including controlling nocturnal creatures, locking eyes with a victim to control their actions, reading minds, causing illness or death, mimicking human voices to lure victims. Sightings and behaviors. Those who have claimed to witness skinwalkers describe creatures that are not fully human or fully animal with unsettling features. Reported behaviors include rapidly running alongside a moving vehicle, peering into windows, tapping on windows or walls, making strange scrapping noises. Cultural significance and risk of appropriation. The Skinwalker legend serves as an important cultural function within the Navajo community a moral lesson. The stories are used to teach children about what is right and wrong and about the spiritual perils of choosing an evil path. Cultural taboo. Traditional Navajo people are reluctant to discuss skinwalker lore with non Navajos. This is partially due to belief that speaking of these malevolent beings could attract their attention and bring harm. Disrespectful appropriation. The Native American scholars, like Adrian Keene, have criticized the apparition of skinwalker legends by non native writers and creators, stripped their cultural context. These stories are often misrepresented in pop culture, with which is seen as disrespectful and exploitative of deeply meaningful traditions. A note of respect. Due to the sacred and culturally sensitive nature of these legends, it's important to treat it with reverence and respect for its Navajo origins. For Navajo skinwalkers are not just characters in a spooky story, but a part of their spiritual worldview that should not be casually shared or sensationalized. Or other tribes have similar to skinwalkers. Okay. Okay, let's go here. Alright, so legends involving shape shifting witches or sorcerers exist across many Native American tribes, though they are vary greatly in detail and cultural significance. While the malevolent figure known as the Skinwalker is specific to Navajo tradition, similar concepts appear in folklore of other peoples, including the Apache, Hopi, and Zuni. Apache. The Apache believed in witches could misuse spiritual power to harm their own communities, corrupted power, rather than using their power for healing. These witches wielding it for malicious purposes and were feared and shunned by their people. Evil ceremonies, similar to Skinwalkers, Apache witches were said to conduct secretive evil ceremonies at night to isolate areas like caves, sometimes involving the use of body parts from exhumed corpses to create poisons. Interesting, I didn't know that. Zuni. The Zuni is an ancient Pebblian culture, have strong beliefs in witchcraft, which they trace back to their earliest creation myths, death and corn. In Zuni oral tradition, witches are said to have brought both death and corn to the world. Scared. Secret covens. Zuni witches were believed to operate in organized societies or covens, and were once considered the only recognized criminals within Zuni society. Witch hunters in the past were used to identify and execute them. Other tribes and related legends. Many Native American traditions have stories about malevolent figures who can assume animal forms. Wendigo, found primarily among Aglon Quion people of the Great Lakes region. Wendigo is a monstrous spirit driven by an unstable hunger for human flesh. While not simple shapeshifter, some lore suggests a human can be transformed into Wendigo through greed, selfishness, or cannibalism. Pugwidge's Wampanoag Ojibwe. I pronounced the last one wrong. These small humanoid creatures are forest and swamp tricksters. They can shapeshift into animals or other forms and are known for playing tricks, though they can become dangerous if provoked. Okay, I'll read the Wendigo thing again. Found primarily among Algonquin people of the Great Lakes region, Wendigo are monstrous spirits driven by instability of hunger for human flesh. While not simple shapeshifters, some lore suggests a human can transform into a Wendigo through greed, selfishness, or cannibalism. Now that's supposed to be a real cryptid, but I that could also be symbolic too. All right, Kushtaka, looming in the folklore of Northwest Coast, people like the Tilligit, the Kush Taka are malevolent shape-shifting creatures that often appear as otters. They are known for luring sailors and travelers to their deaths by imitating human cries. Although some versions of the lore depict them in more malevolent lights, Ho Chunk witches, the Ho Chunk Winnebago people have legends of witches who are nighttime shapeshifters capable of taking on different animal forms, such as turkeys. These individuals are feared and their practices are viewed as destructive to the community. These beliefs are sacred and culturally sensitive, are not to be sensationalized or treated lightly. The specific details of these figures include their names, behaviors, and vulnerabilities, hold deep significance within their respective traditions. And sharing this information openly, especially with those outside the culture, is often considered taboo. Okay. Let's see. They see UFOs. Something that Mermaid and I have talked about here before is about the UFOs and that culture. And interesting here, it says, in general sense, yes, Native American cultures, including the tribes mentioned, have traditions involving celestial beings or aerial phenomena that share characteristics with modern UFO sightings. These accounts, however, are interpreted through cultural lenses that differ slightly from modern concepts of alien life. Many indigenous people consider these star people or sky people to be ancestors or related to spiritual beings, not foreign invaders. So, going back, before we were even in this part of the world, the Europeans, these people were already seeing these UFOs. It predates our technology. Navajo skinwalkers and UFOs. Navajo Nation in particular has seen modern convergence of skinwalker legends and UFO reports, largely due to a specific location in northeastern Utah known as Skinwalker Ranch. Paranormal hotspot. The ranch has a high concentration of reported paranormal activities, leading to its reputation as a UFO hotspot. Phenomena described include floating orbs, flashing lights, and discs shaped craft. Navajo Rangers. For years, Navajo Rangers, including investigators Stanley Milford Jr. and Jonathan Redbird Dover, were officially tasked with investigating these reports. Dover, a paranormal investigator, has personally witnessed unexplained craft on tribal lands and believes the phenomena may involve interdimensional travel. A mix of creatures. Sightings on and around the Skinwalker Ranch often mixed with other paranormal reports, including those of unexplained creatures. Some people associated with skinwalkers, however, the Skinwalker legend itself is a sacred Navajo tradition about malevolent witch. Conflating it with modern UFOs is considered culturally insensitive. Connection or coincidence? The question of a direct link between skinwalkers and UFOs remain a subject of speculation and folklore, with some suggesting a connection and others viewing them as a separate phenomena occurring in the same geological unique region. About to get into the star people. Okay. What's that about? Whoa. Oh, okay. Let's go here. It's curiosity. Interesting. Okay. Just kind of like saving this. I probably don't need it, but I'll save it. There we go. Other tribes and star people. Many tribes across North America, not just ones mentioned, have their own ancient star people. Traditions that relate to celestial non human beings. The Zuni or Zuni tribe has legends of their connection to star people who are said to be related to them from the beginning of the fourth world and who acted as teachers to their ancestors. So this is the theory of the extraterrestrials, maybe the Watchers that came down to teach human stuff that we talked about before. And as I said, everyone's talking about these star people, these other types of beings, and the Lakota. Traditions hold that the Lakota infants are born with spirit from a star, and after death, their spirit returns to the stars. The holy man Black Elk is also recounted a vision quest in which he saw and communicated with luminous disc. Hopi have legends stating their first home was in the Pleiades star cluster. It's crucial to understand that the stories about star people predate modern UFO culture by centuries. They're not interpreted of alien spaceships, shot the alien spaceship, but deeply ingrained in spiritual beliefs, while there is modern trend among some to link these traditional beliefs to the contemporary UAP phenomena. It's essentially to recognize the cultural difference and respect the sacred context from which these legends originate. Okay, so that is about their experience with the UFOs. Okay, and let's see, legends similar to King Arthur. All right, historic legends with themes similar to King Arthur, which we talk about King Arthur here sometimes, such as fabled leaders, a band of loyal companions, and a tragic downfall, are found in many cultures. These stories often center on messianic figures who and destined to return in a time of need or motif that resonates across different traditions. Fionn Mac, Cumhale, and Fina Irish mythology. Fionn is one of the most permented heroes in Irish mythology, leading a band of elite warriors known as the Fianna, a distant rise to rise to power. Fionn's story shares the sword and the stone motif with author's legend, though the Irish twist involving pulling the sword from the lake. Loyal warriors. He commands Fina, something like that. No, it's Fina, a brotherhood of warriors that parallels author's Knights of the Round Table. An unfaithful consort. Fionn's legend includes a tale of his fiancée, Granée, cheating on him with one of his warriors, Diarmund, which is strikingly similar to the author Guinevere and Lancelot story arc. A sleeping hero ending. Much like author, Fionn is said to be sleeping in a cave, waiting to return and save Ireland from its hour of need. Cuchulainn is an Irish warrior hero known for his superhuman fighting abilities. His life follows a heroic arc similar to authors from prodigious youth to a short but glorious career. Divine origin. Like Arthur, whose birth has supernatural elements, Q Chaline is believed to incarnation of Irish god Lug. the battle frenzy, a distinct element in Q's story is his Rystrid and battle frenzy turns him into a terrifying and unstoppable monster. This is often common compared to supernatural elements of Arthurian combat. Dietrich von Burton, German mythology. Legend of King Arthur is often compared to King Arthur of medieval German literature. In royal exile, Dietrich is exiled from his kingdom by a usurper and spends years in exile with his loyal followers. A returning monarch, like Arthur, eventually returns to reclaim his rightful throne, only to face further turmoil. A returning monarch. Okay, I read that. Okay, King Harulf and his companions in Norse mythology is a legend of Danish king from Norse sagas who ruled with a band of 12 champions. Much like Arthur with his knights, the sagas detail his heroic battles and the tragic end of his lineage. Martin Firo, Argentinian folklore. This legendary Guacho is a national hero in Argentina, often seen as resistance fighter and outlaw. Symbolic figure, he is represents the transition between indigenous and modern society in a similar way that Arthur embodies the chivalric ideal. A once and future echoes. His status as a legendary figure whose existence deviated recalls one of the king of the future motif. Interesting. All right, Martin Firio, Argentinian folklore. This legendary Guacho is a national hero in the Argentina, often seen as a resistance fighter and outlaw. Symbolic figure, he represents the transition between indigenous and modern society in a similar way that Arthur embodies the chivalric ideal. A once and a future echo. His status, a legendary figure whose existence is debated, recalls the once and a future king motif. Quetzalcoatl and the Star People, Mesoamerican legends, which we kind of talked about. Interesting correlation here. In Mayan and Aztec mythology, figures like the deity Quetzalcoatl have been mythologized into legends that shares aspects of Arthurian myths. Promise returns, legends of cultural hero who will one day return and appear in Mesoamerican tradition. Celestial origins, the stories involving the star people or celestial beings, teachings, humanity, arts, and science are common threads in most mythologies, elements in the Arthurian legends. Interesting. Let's go here. Sun Wukong, Chinese mythology. The character journey of the West, known as Monkey King, is a powerful warrior who fights alongside his companions. While he doesn't fit the knightly archetype, he shares a band of brothers dynamic and mythic wandering nature with figures like Arthur's Knights. Yamato Takeru, a legendary Japanese prince whose story combines mythological elements with historical context. Supernatural elements like Arthur's magic sword, Excalibur, Yamato Zakeru possessed a magical sword and other mythological powers. A national hero, he is a heroic figure who battles monsters and enemies, much like Arthur, and his legend has been used to reinforce a sense of national identity. Okay, so legends of sleeping or temporarily absent hero who will one day return to save their people exist in many cultures around the world. These myths are known as the king and the mountain motif, often arises from on longing for a past golden age and desire for deliverance from present troubles. All right, here are several. Now, I think that they took this from the concept of Jesus and maybe other mythologies that that existed. I'm not calling Christianity a mythology because I believe in it, but I'm not saying like it's a myth. I believe it's real, but still, there's mythologies that may have had something similar. I don't know, but let's see what they have to say. All right, so European legends. Chamberlain. He at one is famous. The Holy Roman Emperor is said to sleep in a mountain sometimes in Untersberg near Salzburg. Prophecy states he will awaken when ravens stop circling the mountain, signaling his return to save his empire. Frederick Barbosa. I never knew that. Okay, Frederick Barbosa is said to sleep in the Kaifhausa Mountains in Thur Ingai. He awaits the day his long red beard wraps 3 times around the table, the signal to restore Germany to greatness. Rumor has it the beard is still slowly going around the table. Right. Oiger the Dane, the legendary warrior, a hero in Chamberlain's court, is said to sleep beneath the Kronborg castle in Denmark. A statue of him in the castle cellar waits to defend the nation if it is in peril. Saint Wenceslaus in Ches. Oh yeah, I'm related to a last name somewhere that was connected to this character. The patron saint of Bohemia is said to slumber within the Blanken Mountain with an army of knights. When his country faces its worst trial, he and his host ride forth to save it. The Kraljevic Marko, Serbian. From Serbian folklore, Marko is a heroic warrior who sleeps waiting to come back when his people need defending. Sebastian of Portugal, following the disappearance of King Sebastian I in a 1578 battle, a myth took hold that he would one day return to save Portugal. The myth spread to Brazil. Middle Eastern Asian legends, the hidden Imam. In Shia Islam, the Shia believes the 12th Imam, Muhammad al Mahdi, went into a divine occultation and is hidden from humanity. Is expected to return in the end times to bring justice and peace. The Garshap, Garshasp, the Persian mythology. The monster slayer of Persian mythology is said to be in deep sleep. He is fated to awaken and lead the world out of darkness when King Zahak returns. Ah, hello, mermaid. Yeah, just people in the chat. There are a lot of people lurking, and maybe they people had something to do. I remember earlier some people said they were lurking, and they were listening. So people are like listening, but other people they may have had other things to do. So yeah, shout out to you, mermaid. That's nice to have you. Glad that you were here. So it was interesting seeing about the Native American mythology where they believe in the sky people. They called them, the people in the sky. Not the sky people, the star people, and those are the what we call aliens. And from my group or my generation, they would call them aliens, but yeah, they call them star people. Interesting, So, Mermaid said, "I saw all the gameplay. Kinda, that was cool. It's Halloween, so people are busy. Yeah, yeah. People have different stuff going on, and it happens sometimes. There will be moments where there won't be activity but it happens here and there. And then we'll have like another stream where there's a big crowd. Yeah. So yeah, people are busy with Halloween stuff like that, and I was monitoring the stream. There's people watching. Most of my viewers are lurkers. Shout out to the viewers. Like on my streams, I'll get like over 100 views, but there are people that lurk. And as I said, shout out to them. And Mermaid said, "Thank you. Just thought I'd chat in the chat since it's a ghost town today." Scared. Yeah. It's a ghost town in chat. We could make a story about it. How it's a haunted ghost town chat. That reminds you of SpongeBob. You know what this is? The chat. Oh, hello there, Aaron. Oh, great to see you. And with the ghost town, from when SpongeBob went to rock bottom, they called it a ghost town. That's what SpongeBob called the rock bottom. So yeah, it's like the rock bottom. Scared. Oh yeah, it'll take me a while to go live. Probably my schedule way too late. Oh, okay, Mermaid. Thank you for the update about that. Okay, I'm glad to know. All right. Scared. All right. Genghis Khan, the founder of Mongol Empire, is not dead but resting. Folklore connects to signs from his horses which appear each year at sacrifice for him, ready for his return. Mermaid said, "Happy Halloweeny week. I had a big enough scare with my stalker, that bitch. Scared." Yeah, we're really concerned for you and praying for you, and yeah, we hope that you could get a closure with that situation, that a Temu Sheen situation. In Kukai, Japanese folklore, is a Buddhist monk and founder of the Shingon school of Buddhism, is not deleted dead but meditating beneath Mount Koya. He awaits the coming of the Maitreya, future Buddha. Thank you, Aaron. I know to have. I kind of have because I have control now because I won't allow her to threaten me because I keep blocking her. So now I'm in control if she comes back to another account. Okay. Right, said, which she does all the time, hundreds of thousands of them apparently for years, which I have pictures. I will always block her and never engage with her. Amen. Yes. My autocorrect is always terrible. I talk to the mic and I swipe text. Scared. Yeah, I mean, and I be on YouTube. There's stalkers and weird people on there that I've encountered. It's there's some weirdos out there. Yeah. Oh, you never use the fancy stuff. Yeah. There's a mechanism where you could talk into the mic and you could just type the words out for you. And I have autocorrect issues too. Now the tablet that I have is the worst autocorrect issues ever. Yeah. The in Cari Peruvian mythology, this myth from indigenous people of Peru tells of the last Inca king who was decapitated by the Spanish. His head regenerates the rest of his body when the whole again. Incari will return to restore the Inca Empire. Bernardo Caprio. It sounds like Leonardo DiCaprio, but it's not. The king of Tangolags is said to be trapped in the mountain of Rodriguez Rizal and causes earthquakes as he struggles to break free. Tecumseh, the Shawnee leader who resisted American expansion, is said to return when his people need him. Alright, unfortunately, there were too many spoilers on that. I can't be bothered to watch. The only one is Mom, right? The unknown number, cash for second. This is stalkers. Demons go away. Yeah, amen. Demons go away. Okay. So, let's continue. Let's see, are there legendary female heroes destined to return? mom torments them for text for years until police solves it, and she manipulated her daughter, like hugging her after they found out. Wow. Legend of messianic returning hero are more commonly associated with male figures, but female versions of the King of the Mountain motif do exist. They're often queens or goddesses whose return is tied to specific promise of justice, prosperity, defense against enemies. Alien, did you hear about that show on Netflix? I I heard of it, yes. Yeah. And I don't know everything about it, but I have heard of that. And the harassment and stalkers are certainly a issue. And there's a lot of catfishing that does happen in general online, especially in the digital age, and it's a very spooky situation, to have. So yes, I've heard of the show. I haven't really seen it though. Mermaid says, I don't know how people can be so sick and they are fake to be people. They troll or threaten people, but it is serious harassment now. Yeah, the serious harassment is completely absurd. I don't really said I don't like the how people go and do that to others, and like what are they going to get out of it? They're just going to get tears and suffering from it. It's not going to end well. Queen Tamar. In Georgian legend, Queen Tamar is not deleted dead, but sleeps with a golden wreath coffin inside a mountain. It kind of reminds you of a Sleeping Beauty. Like other sleeping heroes, she's said to be awaiting the moment when her country faces the greatest peril, at which point she will awaken and restore the Georgian Golden Age. I just went to my Netflix looking for it. I only came out this year. I can't find it. Well, my stalker is Antifa Satanic, and she hated me since middle school. I found out why or how she perceives me, and it's scary. They have fantasies about their victims. Oh yeah, they have fantasies about stalking and going to someone's house and or someone's place and doing kinds of things that aren't right. That is absolutely completely true. And they just have no empathy and they're just driven by their impulses. This will bug me now. Right. And Mermaid said, Aaron, I was about to tell you, OMG, it was deleted because it's so bad. Aaron, yes, it made news. They removed it. Aaron, OMG, the way I see it, but I don't know how. Let's see. Let's talk about this show, The Unknown Number of Catfish. And then my stalker told me the name of the place I live, but not the address, and that's when I called police. Well, that's good you did that. It's absolutely good you did that because these people, they do that also as a scare tactic and a controlling tactic. I've had weirdos like that before. I know what you're going through. I absolutely understand. It is, it said, scare tactic. They want control and manipulation. Also, yeah, they they just become obsessive and they do gaslighting. They shift the blame and they try to downplay what they did. Like, I don't know. It must be influencing people. I don't know why they took it down. That's nuts. Oh, I mean, Netflix had a show about children and ballerinas or something, or dancers, and it was really kind of creepy. So Netflix could have some cringe to it, my opine. Oh, it was still on your Netflix. You're trying to find the XGF and BF one. Okay, well, Aaron, I do believe it'll show up at some point. It will. Mermaid said, "My stalker is with my ex, and he talked about me all the time. It's sad." Yeah, especially when people will talk about you when you're not like around in a negative way. Nothing wrong with talking about people in a positive way, but people are doing it in a negative way. I think it's extremely wrong to do that because they're just like a washwoman telling a bunch of information. Yeah. Oh, maybe in Canada is different. Let's see. Oh, okay. The documentary of unknown number, the high school catfish, available in Canada on Netflix. Is not a series of multiple episodes. The feature length runs for 94 minutes. Okay, if it's the documentary Unknown Number, the high school catfish, it should be available if that's what y'all are talking about. Let's see. Okay. Pool's Mermaid. My ex and her showed up to my son's third birthday and left after they saw me. It makes sense. Oh, okay. Love Stalker Killer is the one I'm thinking about. Okay. Okay, it's a series. The lack of empathy these days for people is just horrendous. That's why it's best to cut off people that are doing things like this to others. So you just always be careful because there's some strange individuals out there that'll be scared. Scared. She's a meme now. That's true. It's definitely a meme. And let's explore some catfishing cases. Aaron said, "Oh yeah, her and the neighbor killer. Both of those women are the most hated women on the moment." Yes, yes. OMG, Aaron, who's the neighbor killer documentary? Perfect. You should see the news. They're so funny. The memes are how I feel about my own stalker. Facts. Facts. Let's. We're gonna tell you all about some catfishing cases. All right, the Nev Shulman story, 2010. The description in the filmmaker Nev Shulman. Okay, I remember when it made news. Horrendous. Perfect Neighbor. Oh, okay. Thank you, Aaron. 2010, Nev Shulman documented his romantic online relationship with a woman named Megan, who he had been messaging on Facebook. As the relationship grew, he discovered that she sent him paintings and songs supposedly created by her family members. Nev and his brother Ariel traveled to Michigan to surprise her, but instead they found a different family and learned that almost everything had been told was a lie. Man, the true crime docs are good for the soul. Yeah, or an OMG, it was near your country or here in USA. I don't hear it. All right, let's talk about this. All right, the perfect neighbor case refers to a tragic and ultimate fatal shooting of Anki A.G. Jones. A.G. Owens by her neighbor Susan Laura, Lauren Kiz A in Locala, Florida. In June 23, the case is subject to Netflix documentary A Perfect Neighbor, which was released in October 25. This was not a catfishing case. It is a distinct form of cyberbullying case featuring Netflix documentary known number of high school catfish. Instead, Perfect Neighbor details a real world dispute between two neighbors that escalated over a 2 year period and fatal consequences. We're a different breed up here, don't worry. We just specialize in all crime. Alright. Mermaid said, "Pray for Britney Spears. She's on serious drugs and she's lucky she's lived long enough. I hope she gets help as an addict's former drug one too." Amen. Absolutely. Key details of the case. The neighbor's Ajike Owens was black mother of four, while Susan was a white woman who lived across the street. The escalating dispute. Lauren repeatedly harassed Owen's children and others in the neighborhood for. I remember this case. I remember this case very much. I remember this trial. Neighborhood for playing in a vacant lot near her home. She often called the police to complain, used racial slurs against children, and once they threw a pair of roller skates at one of Owen's sons. Lawrence referred to herself as a perfect neighbor during these calls, which gives documentary its title, The Fatal Incident. On June 23, the dispute came to a head to a head after Lawrence allegedly threw a roller skate at Owen's children and then swung at an umbrella. Another when Owens confronted Lawrence by knocking on her door, who was inside, and shot and deleted killed through the locked door. Aaron, and I believe that she does yoga with her child and breaks my heart taking their kids to hell with them. I hate it. Oh, Brittany is sad. Her soul was sold too long ago for repair. A tragic world for kids ever enter. She was never protected. Yeah, Brittany. I remember when she shaved her head. I remember she had like a psychotic breakdown. Yeah. I watched a body cam today where a woman was going nuts on a guy building a fence for her neighbor, and he had to step on her grass to access the panels. She pepper sprayed him. Well, that is crazy. That is nuts. Absolutely. Aaron, those body cams get more admire better each time I see them. Shocked she was cited with assault. Oh, she was nuts and yelled everything she was saying. Yeah, absolutely. The fatal incident on June 23, the dispute came to a heat after Lawrence allegedly threw the roller skate at one of the children and then swung an umbrella at another. When Owens confronted by knocking on her door, L, who was inside, shot and deleted her through the locked door. Is it bad I get great joy when they tackle people and great after they don't shut the heck up? Yes, I do that too, Aaron. It's not bad at all. It's not bad at all. OMG, psycho freak, that's scarier than bipolar. Oh hell no, I do too love it. Yes, I love it also. Yeah, it's quite. It is hilarious. The fatal incident on June 23, the dispute came to a heat. All right, I read that. Okay, aftermath and conviction. The incident drew national attention and revived debates over Florida's controversial stand your ground laws, which L attempted to cite in her defense. However, a judge found L guilty of manslaughter with a firearm in August 24, and she was sentenced to 25 years in prison. And the judge stated that the shooting was completely unnecessary. Yeah, yes, very true, Aaron. Oh, I love police cams. I remember there was an incident where they got there's a group of people in a clown car. A clown car means there's a bunch of people inside the car, and they're taking out the people, and they're all complaining and saying they didn't do anything. Yeah, that was funny. And I remember they went and tackled the dude, and it was a long run, and they eventually got to him. All right, documentary portrayal. Netflix documentary pieces together the 2 years leading up to the shooting using police body camera footage, 911 calls, and interviews, and highlights the repeated skepticism of police officers who responded to L complaints over the months as she was only neighbor reporting issues. Mermaid said, absolutely, they're trained to be so patient with women. Like, what the F? Hell nah. Get them worse sometimes. Aaron, it's the drunk drivers who say they don't have to exit their car when cops say get out. I know my rights. Shut up. Yeah, yeah. One time there was a snake in someone's house, and the police had to go in there anyway, and they're able to catch the person. Aaron said, Miranda, yes, some women are so vile because we've been babied. And scared. Alright, I've been arrested for someone falsely accusing me and trying to take me to court. And I went, and the cops loved me because I was kind to them, and they did a lot for me I couldn't even say. Get the F out of the car and take your punishment. Go in cuffs and do your time and shut the hell up. Facts. You're sorry that happened to you, but yes, handled it well with grace, girl. Yeah, facts. Mermaid, the police were so kind and had sympathy and told me everything I needed to know. It was good. It sucked, but common decency is awesome. Yeah, mutual respect and common decency is very important. Absolutely. And here, absolutely, I learned my lesson, and it sadly wasn't over anymore. Anyone, I knew it was just I had a hate group. It's scary. Absolutely, I was silent, and the police saw on the cams. And judge never a judge. I was dismissed. Well, no hate from you here, friend. Yeah, no hate to Mermaid. Shout out to Mermaid. I think that you handled it very, very well because a lot of people do not handle it right, and they act stupid. I remember it said, Aaron, absolutely. You and others like Anna have told them that, and thank you. I love YouTube and my friends on all chats here. I met alone over in a pot channel. Hell yeah. And my friends on all chats here, I met alone over in a pot channel. Yeah. Okay, guys, I need to be up early. It was awesome. It was going to just say hi, but you guys are awesome, LO. Well, yes, Aaron. Absolutely. Hey, Aaron, good night to you, Angel. Sweet dreams. All right. Yeah, stay blessed as always, Facts. All right. So, yeah, yeah, Miranda, that is night typo friend. Hopefully, check in tomorrow. Yes, we'll hope to see you tomorrow and give us updates on what's going on. Yeah, and I appreciate you all here, and I do love this community of friends we have here. And yeah, Mermaid, I'm so glad that I met you over there, and Bubbles is glad too, as he's talking. Uh, you really do great with the spaceship, Mermaid. So some catfish cases that have happened going further down the list. The Manti Teo scandal 2012. This case involves major college football star became one of the most publicly discussed catfishing incidents ever. Yes, I agree with you, Murray, that Smoking Skin did. Absolutely. And it brought a lot of people together, and I met amazing people there. It's a nice, nice chill chat. You've had a hard time in my channel a bit, but I'm okay. Okay, Mermaid. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, it is. It can be very. It can be. It's difficult at times, and there will be trolls, and there will be people that are not nice. Also, just as is gonna have a heads up as you grow and get more and more known. There will be people that will be critical. There'll be people that will be stupid, but you continue to follow your own inner voice, and no matter what happens, you love what you do, and that's the most important thing. So you keep on going, and the perseverance, you will certainly do very well with it. And I love your channel; it's great. I love the repo game, as I said, very good. I'm glad to see you doing a gameplay of that. I have to get that game at some point, and I like seeing the pool rooms. So you do very well with talking on the camera and communicating with the audience. You do very well. Yes, yes, uh, and that's good that you do. That's good that you do. And sometimes, with the technical stuff and the videos and scheduling could be tedious as well. And yeah, I just wanted everybody, to be able to make their own channels and do their own thing. That's what I want to see. And that's why I was glad to help out different people with what they want to do. Because I think it's something everybody should do. To display and make your own content. Murray said, "Get repo. It's so funny and good. Thank you for your feedback. I hate my dialogue, but it could be a newbie thing. I'm truly being myself. It's embarrassing, and yeah, my cam and schedule been wild, but I get it done. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. And oh, I love your dialogue. It's so great to see you on camera and do your your videos. That's really something great to see. It really is. I think it's wonderful to see. And if you feel that you could do whatever it is, if you feel you make a mistake, it's a learning experience. And at the same time, being your authentic self and following your intuition is the best path you could take. Exactly, Bubbles. It's true. You know it. And there's all kinds of different games and stuff people can play, and content people can make. I love Gooby the cat. Gooby the cat's hilarious. Also, your brother's cool. Aaron said, "Thank you. It truly means a lot because I don't actually get feedback from anybody, maybe besides my dad." Yeah, yeah. And I like the. Let's see. She says, "Bubbles does not want to let you talk right now." Yeah, that is true. That is true. Scared. He he is being a bit demanding at the moment. Yeah. Now, things that in my streams that I'll do, sometimes like I'll put the camera where people can see me in different locations, because sometimes there's this on the far side towards the end. There's sometimes my channel logo, and it would kind of block the screen a little bit. So I have like positioned the camera in different my camera in different spots. Where, because the YouTube logos, the way they designed the website, they'll it's a watermark, but it's sometimes like with my streams it would get in the way, so I kind of had to reposition it sometimes. And yeah, as I said, I think you do very well with your commentary. You look great, and the gameplay's good, the music's good, and said you're gonna. And you said your channel's growing. You know, it's growing very fast. You know, much faster than other people that I've helped in the beginning. You know, so you just keep on uploading the videos. You could even do shorts if you haven't done that yet. Shorts, I think, could get a lot of traffic to your channel, in my opine, if you haven't done that yet. Making posts and stuff is good. So, as I said, I'm glad you took action, and I'm glad that you did good with it. Very well done. Let's see. All right, yeah, I love the graphics in the games you play. The graphics are good. I like the noises, and I like how the character, like, there's just like some mannequin or some strange thing just sitting there, just like laying there, kind of like out in the open. It's like not supposed to be creepy, but it is in a way. All right, I'll see what Bubbles wants in a moment. I'll see what he wants. Alrighty. Said I am still here. I'm gonna see what he wants. Let's be in the background. Almost knocked that thing over, Bubbles. Alright. So we're gonna pet the cat right here. Alright, looks like Bubbles he's enjoying a snack right now. That's good. Okay, that's good. So yeah, I think he's settled now. Alright. Okay, I am back. Let's see. So yeah, just keep up the good work, Mermaid. Your channel's great. And the cat is still crying. Okay, let's go back here. Hello, buddy. Good to see you. Alright, it's nice to have you here, my friend. Your cat. Alright. Okay. Hey, I've returned. He's seems to be settled now. Not quite true. Okay, but anyway. All right, there is the Monty Teo scandal in 2012. This case involving a major college football star became one of the most publicly discussed catfishing incidents ever. The depiction: Monty Teo, a star linebacker in Notre Dame fighting the Irish, was in an online relationship with a woman named Lanny Kikiwa when she supposedly was Leah died of leukemia on the same day as his grandmother. His tragic story gained national media attention. The reveal: after receiving an anonymous tip, reporters discovered that Lene Kikiwa was not a real person, and she became created by Ron Aya Neo, a person known from his hometown who used photos of high school classmates to fake a persona. Alright, let's be right back. Oh, Mermaid said, sorry, well, you left. I was taking care of business too. Oh, okay. No, yeah, you can do what you're doing. I'm going to be going back to see what the cat wants. I'm probably going to be ending it soon because we've completed the stream for the night, but not at the moment. I'm just going to be like in the other room. I mean, I guess, I don't know. I don't think I will be too long. BRB. All right, shout out to Mary Toodles.
Mm-hmm. Fighting cats out here, okay?
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, so we've completed the stream for the night. We'll be wrapping it up now. Right, we had a good time. All right, so now we'll be ending the stream. We've reached the ending point. I want to thank all of you for coming here and hanging out with us. It was a pleasure. Thank you all for coming. We'll see you tomorrow on the next one, and peace. All right. Okay. So what's happening outside is Bubbles' brother is fighting one of the other cats. Probably fighting, what's his name? Claude. That's what he's fighting. Okay, so everybody, thank you for coming, and now we'll be signing out.